Everybody, old school comic book reviews. Today, let's try to look at the Union Jack miniseries from 2007. It's a four-part series that was written by christos. The penciling is by Mike Perkins. The inking is Andrew Hennessy, and the coloring is by Laura Villolari. Basically, it's pretty much just a straight-ahead superheroes versus supervillains and terrorists type story. It's not a lot of soap opera in this story. You don't get a whole lot of behind the scenes with the hero at his home or anything like that. It's basically, ticking time bomb, action adventure, stop the bad guys type of thing. If it were a movie, it'd be a straight ahead, Mission Impossible style, edge of your seats, cliffhangers and thrillers type of thing. In this story, Union Jack is basically a patriotic superhero from the UK, and his allies here are Contessa Allegra Valentina de la Fontaine, who used to be Nick Fury's old girlfriend, Sabra, who's a superhero from Israel, and another guy named the Arabian Knight. And like I said, they basically join Jack to stop the terrorists. The bad guys in this particular issue are, well, there's AIM, who is this organization made up of terrorist scientists who create weapons of mass destruction and things like that. And a splinter group of AIM called Raid has, placed bombs, and they're causing troubles all throughout Britain. And they've got a variety of kind of like B-level and C-level superheroes to carry out their goals for them. And like I said, it's basically up to Jack and the gang to try to stop them. I had fun reading this story, really edge of your seat. If you read it all at once, it's a lot of fun. It's really well paced. There's some good characterizations. I like the personalities of the various characters and whatnot. The art is pretty good. It's really clean. It's really, for the most part, pretty crisp. You can pretty much tell what's going on. You're not confused about what's happening or where the characters are or what they're doing or anything like that. Kind of, a little dark, a little shady, but it fits the mood of the story. There is some sort of, kind of Photoshop, backgrounds and things like that, but never to the point where it's distracting or anything. And once again, I think it fits within this story that's full of urban terrorism and detailed cityscapes and things like that. So I think it actually works. Let's see here. There's some pretty interesting plot twists towards the end. I kind of like how they have this thing going on with Sabra, like I said, who's from Israel, and she has a beef with the Arabian Knight, who of course is an Arab, and they kind of go back and forth. They really don't like each other, and I think it's interesting because their dislike from each other stems from pretty much real life, political and cultural animosity, that would happen in the real world, as opposed to the sort of thing you sometimes get in superhero comics where one hero doesn't like the other hero, but it's just kind of contrived to kind of build this kind of like fake tension in a story. This is something where these two characters probably wouldn't like each other in real life. But at the same time, they consider themselves professionals, they have their orders, and, they kind of learn how to work together. And by the end of the story, they still don't like each other, but they kind of have a sort of professional respect for each other. So I thought that was pretty cool. And see, I really did like the character of Union Jack. He's pretty much the British Captain America, even more so than another character in the Marvel Universe called Captain Britain, because Captain Britain has these kind of fantastical superpowers. He's got super strength, he can fly, whereas Union Jack is more of the kind of slightly enhanced superhero where he doesn't have any great superpowers. He's in great shape. He has combat training and so on and so forth, but he really ends up getting by on his wit, his skill, his determination. There's a couple of scenes where he has to think his way out of a situation just on the fly, and basically perseveres just because he refuses to give up. What else? That's pretty much it. Like I said, it's a lot of fun. I don't know if there's a trade available for this. Oh, one thing I did, like I forgot. Well, one part of Union Jack's history is, he comes from a family of vampire hunters, and it's kind of touched on in the beginning of the story, but that's really not what this particular story is about. But one thing I really, really did like is that when Jack is in his civilian identity of Joe Chapman, I think, his regular guy job is he's a house painter. And I just really love the fact that, he just has a working class, everyman, working guy type of job, he's not like somebody like Batman or like Moon Knight over in the Marvel universe where these are guys, sure, they protect the little people, they fight for the streets, but those guys are millionaires. Union Jack, he's got an actual 9 to 5. You know what I mean? So that's what I like. There is another miniseries that I haven't read, but I'll probably check out eventually. That came out a few years before this. And I think the artist by Joe Cassaday. So I kind of want to find that. But this one, like I said, I'm not sure if there's a trade available or not. But even if you go hunt down the individual issues, I'm sure it's not that. I'm sure it's not that expensive. So that's it. Anybody who's read that, please, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Thanks a lot, and you guys try to have a great day.